Well, good morning and welcome back to the studio. This week we're going to pack up paintings and send to the gallery. I had 3 that I entered and were accepted, and so we're going to be packing those up. And I did drop those off yesterday, and they're up for a month. And then I'll go and pick them up. Hopefully I sell at least one of them. That's the first one. That's the watercolor that I did in water lilies. I did learn, though, when I was there that that studio does hold like artist clubs and stuff. So I was looking for that sort of thing, and they're not that far away. So I'll probably be doing some of those things too, becoming part of their art club and figurative drawing. So hopefully I'll have some stuff to show you on that in the next coming weeks. There you go. That's what that one looks like if you guys don't remember. I do have a video on that one, adding the texture to the water. That's a pretty neat technique with some medical gauze. And I just wrote my contact information on a sticky and put it on the back of the photo, on the artwork, in hopes that it doesn't get mixed up with somebody else's. I'm just checking my prices that I had written down in one of my sketchbooks. I just took some notes on how much I want to charge for these paintings. I figured out a square inch price. So that's what I did. And I had charged by the square inch before. When I started selling my artwork, I was doing like $1 a square inch. I felt that that was fair, but obviously if I'm going to be in a gallery, I need to charge more because they take a commission. So just putting tissue paper in between each artwork because I'm gonna bring them down and put them in a box. It's just to protect scratching, basically. I'm not protecting the whole painting. And then I did that other art watercolor with the lighthouse. The theme of this exhibition was trail mix, and so I thought that the lighthouse isn't really like trail themed, but the kayaker and the water lilies, I see lots of ponds on the trails with the water lilies. Not so much a lighthouse when I'm out there hiking, but it's a local landmark, so I felt that I could include that in my exhibition submission. And then when I got back, I have these large canvases, this one and then the one off to the left of me, you can see. I had these for like a year in my studio, and that one on the left that is mostly painted was complete, and I was adding collage to it, but some of the collage pieces had been lifting up, so I didn't finish the second piece that I'm working on now, the second canvas. That was going to be a landscape, but I just figured I'd pull those out, reconnect with the canvases. I'm just making marks using charcoal pieces that, oh no, I'm gessoing in around I already did the charcoal outline, you can see, just kind of cleaning up some of the edges. But that charcoal was just chunks of charcoal that I took out of our fireplace, our fire pit. I like it better. The shapes are odd, and the softness, I think that they lay down on paper or canvas much better than the stuff that you can get in the store, but I still do have a few willow sticks. I find that the willow, right, the willow sticks are better than some of the square shaped ones. They're kind of scratchy, but I haven't had any issues with the pieces that I just take out of our fire pit, honestly. This, at this time, was feeling very bird-like, peacock-ish. And how I came about that, see, was there was purple marks there up above the head. I felt like they were those marks that peacocks, you know, the little round crown. I don't know what that's called, but the crown that they have on top of their head. And then at the bottom of the canvas, there was these marks that felt like the tail fanned out. It just wasn't feeling landscape to me anymore, so I went with it. And I found some stencils, which I had showed you what I got. I got those at Joann's like forever ago. I think you can still get them online. Not on Joann's, obviously, because they're closed. But I think you can get them through Michael's and other online places. I think Amazon has that same or similar stencil kit. They're just floral. These marks here are not going to be seen. I'm just getting texture on the canvas at this point. I plan on painting over all of this stuff on the background. And I want it to stay light around the bird's head. So I used a light ochre color. Added quite a bit of white to it. It's probably darker than I was hoping, but that's going to be painted over with white paint. So some of it may show, but most of it's going to be covered back up. And then I'm going to do florals in the foreground over all of this textured flower print. I hope that makes sense. But I want to do gold leaf. That's what I hope. And I was looking for a stencil that had a feather. I have a wood grain that I thought that the middle part looked similar to the middle of the feathers, but it just made a mess. So I printed off that shape, the feather shape, took out my glue gun, and made my own stencils. I wasn't sure if this was going to work. I thought that it would because I've seen or heard of people making stencils with not an actual design, but like they just make like a bird's nest like pattern with their glue, let it dry, and use that as a stencil. I think I saw that on a video, so that's what I was remembering, so that's what made me think of it. Oh, and I put it on tracing paper because this tracing paper, this Master's Touch, does have a slick, you know, feel to it. So I didn't think that it was going to stick, that I could peel it up. And it started to peel up, but it really stuck down. So you'll see later how I went around that. It's not a big deal. That was an easy enough solution. And it doesn't bother me that there's still paper on the back. I'm really happy with this stencil, honestly. So I printed off some other feather shapes, and I'll make some more so that I have a feather series. And I like this idea because now the stencils are mine. You know, they're you know, tailored to me. And I can reuse this. This was a little bit of work in the beginning here, but I'm going to be able to use this stencil for a very long time. I do have a section along the I don't know, not the stem, but you know, like, I don't know what that's called. The middle part of the feather, you know, where all the little feather pieces come off of, that's really thin. So today I'm gonna thicken that up a little bit, but that's an easy enough fix too. I'm just wiping away the little hairs, thin glue. Oh, I do want to note that in the middle, that heart shape in the middle, you know, I did have to make sure that I connected it to the rest of the feather. You know, sometimes there's like an element like that that's, if I just did glue and didn't put a connecting area out, obviously that wouldn't come up, you know. So you can see I tried to rip it off of, or take it off of the tracing paper, but it's stuck. So I just took my craft knife and just cut it. That's fine. It worked just fine. I'm wondering if I put a little bit of a medium on top of the tracing paper. I'm going to do that the next time. I think that might work. Like a matte gel medium, or whatever medium you have. I think that might work. I don't know. I'm going to try it. I'll let you know. If you guys have made these stencils, certainly comment and how you guys do it. I think that I could have done it on parchment paper, but I don't have any, so I think that's what I've seen. I think that's what I've seen people do. That would make sense. If you have parchment paper, do that, because I think that already has like a plasticky coating, so it, you know, obviously so that nothing sticks. So, but I don't have any, so that's why I didn't do it. This is a little tedious, but not too bad. I was listening to other YouTube channels while I was doing this, so it didn't take me that long. I was actually, during this time, I was watching a very interesting woman. I think she had lived in the United States until her husband passed, and then she moved back to the UK where she was from, and I don't remember what part of the UK. I think it was England, but I'm not sure. And we were touring her house that was made exclusively for an artist, and she didn't design it. She actually bought it from an artist that she knew, and I thought that was really cool. I don't know what the weather's like where you guys are, but it is super warm today. I'm so ready for spring and to get out and paint my flowers in the garden. I have sown forget-me-nots. Let's see, what else did I sow? They're downstairs underneath the grow light, but I planted, or I plan on planting a lot of flowers so that we can get out and paint in the garden. That was why I did that peacock. Because I wanted to do, I'm thinking that I'm going to do a series of flowers from my garden with exotic birds, I think. So we'll see. And I got it all cut out, and I did try it, but it wasn't working exactly, so I thought I gotta hold it a little bit better. It's tough to work with it like this, up vertical. After I did lay it down on the desk and paint, obviously I couldn't show you guys that way. See, it just falls like that. So lay it down when you're working with these kind of stencils and on a flat surface, and it worked beautiful. But you'll get the idea. I'll show you guys up closer. And tapping it like that. I do have some stencil brushes. What are they called? Where you just pounce it like that. There you go. They work. It worked really great. Well, good morning. Welcome to the studio today. This is dried overnight, and I can tell you the things that I love are where I put the charcoal marks and the color pencils. But this is the tail and the stencils that we were using. And that's a stencil that we made. That's great. And then the charcoal that I was using was just pieces that I had gotten out of the fire pit. And I like that so much better than the store-bought stuff. So much smoother and fun. So I want to thank you for hanging out with me this week and working on this. Obviously we'll work on it another week, and I hope that your paints flow with peace. See you next time in the studio.